Hey y'all, welcome back. We are in New Orleans for our second video in this series, and you can't come to New Orleans without trying some of this good food. We're gonna go around to a lot of places that have some iconic eats. So the first thing we're gonna do is get ourselves a po' boy at Parkway Bakery and Tavern.
Some say Parkway Bakery is where the po' boy got its start to help feed the streetcar conductors who were on strike and poor. They asked, what are we gonna feed these poor boys? And created a cheap and portable sandwich of fried potatoes and roast beef gravy. Although roast beef is Parkway's signature sandwich, we're here to try another favorite, the fried shrimp po' boy.
I don't know if you can hear me or not. If you can't, I will voice over, but we are at Parkway Bakery and Tavern. We are here for the po' boy. Now, I know that the traditional, I think, is like a roast beef po' boy, but we couldn't resist this shrimp po' boy. The shrimp is flash fried. It's on a French bread with pickles, lettuce, it's supposed to be tomatoes and mayonnaise, but we got the tomatoes taken off. I'll tell you something about this. It's absolutely overflowing with shrimp. There's so many shrimp you can't possibly hold it in your sandwich, but they are so good, fresh and crispy. And then you've got the mayonnaise on the French bread that I think that even if you had a sauce on here, like they've got Crystal hot sauce, I think even if you put that on this French bread, it won't make it soggy, which I really like because it's got a little bit of pull to it. But overall, everything here tastes just really fresh, like it was made for you. It hasn't been sitting in a window, and it is delicious. If you missed my Philadelphia cheesesteak video, you'll know I put hot sauce on everything. I'm gonna put a link in the description below so you can go watch that video because those cheesesteaks were out of this world. Definitely, if you come here for the po' boy, the shrimp po' boy, put some hot sauce on it. It's really good.
Editing this video has made me hungry all over again. This sandwich was one of the best things we had during this trip. Be sure to check out their hours and get there early. We got there about 30 minutes after they opened and didn't have to wait very long, but by the time we left, the line was down the street.
So many noises. Okay, one dish that is synonymous with New Orleans is the muffuletta. Now, normally you might hear people going to Central Grocery to get this, but because of Hurricane Ida, Central Grocery is not really open right now to be able to get a muffuletta there. So, since we're in the French market and there's so many things to eat and drink here, we decided to get a muffuletta from Alberto's Bistro. It says it has 3 meats, 2 cheeses, and a homemade olive spread on it. I love olives, so we'll see if we like this. And I think normally it's cold, but this one is heated and toasted. That sandwich is really good. It's very olivey, so if you don't like olives, especially green olives on this one, you may not like it. Definitely also has olive oil on it. Maybe salami, I'm not exactly sure. Like I said, it's got 3 meats on it, but it is delicious. Especially today because it's kind of chilly. It's nice to have a warm thing to eat instead of a cold thing, but normally, like I said, you would get it cold. So I know that I said we were coming to get a muffuletta, and we did, but I did a thing, and I got 5 pounds of crawfish. I couldn't leave New Orleans without trying some crawfish. This is 5 pounds. Now, I watched some other videos that said if you're gonna get crawfish around the French market, you gotta go to Jay's Seafood. The flavor is on point, but you do need to eat crawfish. Anywhere you go, it needs to be fresh. Because just like shrimp, the longer it sits or the longer it cooks, the more mushy it is. Mushy crawfish is not good crawfish. Some of this is mushy, but I think partly that's my fault because I let it sit here for a few minutes while I went to get a water. So here we are. The carnage. And that is it. That's crawfish. Next up, we're doing beignets. You can't come to New Orleans and not eat beignets. Now, I know most of the time you're going to hear to go to Cafe Beignet, and that's fine. I've been there. The beignets are lovely. But today, we're gonna try a different place called Cafe Beignet. If you saw my Universal Studios Mardi Gras videos, then you'll already know what a beignet is. But if you don't, beignet is basically kind of like a donut. It is a fried piece of dough. It's fried until it's golden brown, and then it is absolutely drenched in powdered sugar. Basically a funnel cake. Now, because we're here during Mardi Gras, they also have some specialty beignets, and these are the king cake beignets. We haven't tried them yet, but it looks like they're exactly the same as the regular beignets. They just have kind of like a simple icing on top, and then of course they're in the purple, green, and yellow colors. Usually king cake has a little bit of a cinnamon flavor to it. These do not, but they are very delicious, especially for being kind of like that, like powdered sugar and water, you know, like that simple icing that you make. Very good though, very delicious. Hot, and again, nice and fresh. If you try to go to Cafe du Monde and the line is too long, because normally it is, try hopping over here to Cafe Beignet, because these beignets are delicious. Just like the crawfish, beignets are very messy. I wouldn't suggest wearing all black, because you're gonna have this powdered sugar all up and down your body. I'm gonna be honest with you, because I've eaten at Cafe du Monde a few times, but I think these give Cafe du Monde a run for their money. I think Cafe du Monde, the beignets are delicious. I would never stand in a Cafe du Monde line for an hour to get beignets. You've got to try these Cafe Beignet beignets when you come to New Orleans.
Yeah. Are you done with that?
Yeah, eat it.
Why'd you take 2 bites and start on a new one?
I need to get serious for a moment. Did you watch my video about the top things to do when you come to New Orleans for the first time? If you didn't, I'm gonna put a link in the description bar below. Go watch it.
Hi. If you're wondering why I'm dressed this way, it's because it's Fat Tuesday. Jeff and I have been hitting up all the parades and all the fun stuff. So if you've missed that video, I'm gonna link it in the description below. But one of the places I've been wanting to try out here in New Orleans is a place called Mother's. This is a place that you're gonna come for good home cooking. We are gonna try some gumbo, some jambalaya. They've got bread pudding, and I'm like a sucker for bread pudding. Home cooking, it's supposed to be 100% amazing. Okay, first I'm trying the gumbo. It looks so good. Yeah, that's good. I think the gumbo is really what I was wanting. I just needed something like home cooking, some rice, something simple. Because a lot of times when we come to these towns, we eat so much food that's not like what we normally would eat. And it just makes my stomach upset. This is really, really good. I think I'm gonna try Jeff's crawfish etouffee next. Correct me if I'm wrong, like the etouffee, it's like the sauce is a little bit thicker and it's laid on top of fries. Ooh, that may be even better than the gumbo. Very, very good. I like the crawfish too. Nice and kind of, they're not mushy, they're nice and crunchy. Okay, red beans and rice, because you can't go wrong with red beans and rice. Matter of fact, if you watched one of our parade videos that we were doing the other day, instead of throwing beads, there was a float that threw a sack of red beans and a sack of rice. Apparently Mother's is known for their ham, their baked ham. So we decided to get a side dish of baked ham. I didn't see it on the menu, but we could order it. Ooh, that's good. I'm not normally a ham person, but that might be my favorite thing on the table. Bread pudding. I cannot say no to bread pudding. Yes, I would like some ice cream with it. And I think it's got some kind of brandy or some sort of bourbon or brandy sauce with it. Whatever it is, it's good. And this bread pudding actually has little chunks of fruit in it, which I don't see very often. It's very good. Definitely get the bread pudding when you come.
Next up on this food tour, we are gonna get some oysters. Now, if you don't like oysters, that's fine. I don't either. You need to come and you need to eat them charbroiled. The charbroiled oysters are amazing. They are cooked over an open fire. They usually have garlic butter and like seasonings in it too. They're so good. They're served on top of some French bread, so definitely eat them with the French bread. It's so good. Equally enough, if you like oysters, you can also just get them raw on the half shell. They are so good here. You've got to give them a try anytime you come to New Orleans. Just trust me, try the charbroiled if you don't like oysters, but they are delicious. So we're going to be trying our oysters at Acme Oyster House. This is down here on Iberville. It's just like a few steps away from Bourbon Street. So if you're already down here in the French Quarter, come hop over to Acme Oyster House and try you some oysters. I promise you, well, I can't promise, but I hate oysters. To me, oysters are nasty, slimy, ugh, I hate them. If you don't like oysters, try them char-grilled. They are so good. Garlic butter. I think there's Parmesan cheese on top. They're amazing. Put them on top of one of these pieces of French bread. It's to die for. Well, that is the food tour for New Orleans. I hope that you enjoyed it. Let me know what your favorite thing that we ate today was. I'm going to tell you that shrimp po' boy from Parkway was amazing. As always, I love the charbroiled oysters. I'm telling you, if you do not like oysters, just try them and put them on the French bread, charbroiled. It's the garlic and the Parmesan for me. I can't get enough, but I want to know what you think. Also, don't forget to check out the video about our top things to do when you come to New Orleans for the first time. And then we are also covering Fat Tuesday this year. Today's Sunday, so it'll be in a couple of days. So I can't wait to share that with you. Otherwise, don't forget to like this video, and I'll see you later. Bye.